If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
Look, I know what you're thinking, right? Well, he just pardoned his son. What? Of course, if it were you, you will probably have pardoned your child a long time ago. And that's just the facts, okay? I would do the same thing. However, you said you weren't gonna pardon Hunter. This, like, I would have never said I wouldn't pardon my child. That's the first thing I would say. I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna pardon my son or my daughter because there's no way I am going to be the president of the United States and then I don't pardon my child. That's just impossible. And we get it, Joe. We absolutely get it. You pardoned your son. That's what every rational, normal human being will do. However, you said you weren't going to pardon Hunter and you were going to let the DOJ handle business. Why aren't you letting the DOJ handle business? This is this is the only thing I have that I have to say about this issue. Joe Biden said he wasn't going to pardon his son, but he has just pardoned his son because I 100% understand why a parent would pardon their son or their child or their daughter or whatever. Because that's what I would do too, okay? This is like, I would have done this like a long time ago. But I guess it's just like, yo, I'm gonna leave in like 50 days or 49 days, and I'm not sure I'm gonna have this chance again. So he did what he had to do, but he said he wasn't gonna pardon his son. And according to this video, he said if you are being caught with any hard, well, according to him, it was crack, and he said 5 years, and the judge has nothing to say, has no choice. Let me play you the video where he says he wasn't going to pardon his son. Right after this, let's go.
Your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
There you have it, guys. He said he wasn't going to pardon his son. He said he was going to let the DOJ handle business. He also said he's going to let the jury handle business. However, I do not hold anything against this guy because if it were me, I would have done the same thing. I would have pardoned my child because this is my child. This is my flesh and blood. So whatever anybody's talking about, saying that he said he wasn't going to pardon his son and now he's just pardoned his son. This is what every rational, normal human being, normal parent would have done. It is what it is. He's the president of the United States, of course, but he's also a father, okay? But you said you weren't gonna do it. You said you were gonna let the DOJ and the jury handle business. Why did you have to say that? You could have just said, let's see what happens in future. I am gonna think about it. I am gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what they have or check the evidence or whatever, okay? Just say something. You don't have to say, yes, I'm not gonna pardon my son. Yes, I'm gonna let the jury and the DOJ handle business. This is the only thing that I have to say. This right here is the only thing that I would say you shouldn't have said. But him actually, giving his son a pardon, I think that's what every normal person would do. Any parents watching right now would do the same thing. Even though I don't support Joe Biden, like I didn't vote for him, I would never have voted for him. And it is just what it is. However, when it comes to this decision about your child, I would definitely have done the same thing. And everybody watching right now may argue and say, there's no way, he's just a bad person. Nah, you would have done the same thing. You may not like this guy, you may not like his policies, the way he handled the economy, or whatever you have against him, or if you like him, whatever, you still 100%, like 100% would have pardoned your child. There's no way you wouldn't have done the same thing. It's just life, okay? Life. As a parent, you would have done the same thing. Okay, so I wanted you guys to actually see this right here by CNN. So it says here that Biden's pardon of his son makes presidential history. Like if we go all the way down here, you would see here it says only 2 other presidents have pardoned family members, according to Alexis Cole, author of You Never Forget Your First, biography of George Washington. Bill Clinton pardoned his half-brother Roger for drug charges, and Trump pardoned his son-in-law's father, Charles Kushner, who had been convicted of witness tampering, tax evasion, and illegal campaign contributions. Kushner is now in line to be U.S. ambassador to France. So it's not just Joe Biden, it's not just Joe Biden that has been, being a person who, sort of like pardons his child. It's not just Joe Biden, okay? Everybody needs to chill. Trump did it. Bill Clinton did it. It is what it is, okay? Everybody needs to chill, all right? I would never have anything bad to say about a father who pardons their child. It is what it is. He did what he had to do. Everybody, most people, normal common sense person would have done the same thing. There's no, back and forth about this. Okay, so here is another video of the White House press secretary saying the president wasn't going to pardon his son. I don't know why they kept saying he wasn't going to pardon his son. That's not even common sense answer. Like, what do you mean the president isn't going to pardon his son? What kind of father would not pardon their child? Look at her. She looks like she is lost in this video. She has a very hard job, and I'm glad that it's coming to an end because she's been threading the lines, really tiny lines, because she's just tired. She's been tired for a long time because she has to, kind of like just back up every BS that comes out of that administration. And I'm just happy she's now finally going to get some rest. Listen to this.
The president would not pardon or commute the sentence for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
There you have it. Will he pardon his son? No. It's still a no. It's always been a no. It's a no. That was just absolutely insane to say. Why would you say the father of person who happens to be 46th president of the United States, who has the power to pardon their child, and you're going to say no, they're not going to pardon their child? Who even advised them to say no? Who? Like, what parents wouldn't pardon their child? I have nothing. Look, this is my final reaction to this whole thing. I have no bad blood, no bad impute to add to this decision, because I would have done the same thing. I don't really like Joe Biden. I would never have voted for him. I think he messed up the whole economy. I believe he 100% didn't do a good job as a president of the United States. However, I 100% support this decision right here. The only thing that I have to say that is bad here is they messed up saying this BS that he wasn't going to pardon his child. Every parent would pardon their own child. It's called flesh and blood family. It's called family, guys. Family above all things. It is what it is. He did what he had to do. I have nothing to say. I 100% support him. Support him, guys. Pardon your child. All right, so this is the official statement from President Joe Biden. It says, "Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision making, and I kept my word even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly persecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser. People are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. The charges in his cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective persecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. They will be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process, and it's led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. I 100% support you, bro. Like, that's not even a conversation. You can think whatever you want to think. You can have your own reservations or whatever. I 100% would have pardoned my child. There's no conversation about it. And like you read here, or like we read here, it says, I hope Americans will understand why a father, it didn't say why a president first. It said why a father first and a president later. You see what I mean? Like, he's a father before a president. That's just the facts about it. Why a father and a president would come to this decision. So he's a father first and then a president. Okay, it is what it is. So there goes the statement from the president of the United States, the 46th Joe Biden. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, guys. Whatever you have that you have to say, you can say it. But this man had to do what he had to do. Just like anybody would have done what they had to do. That's my 2 cents on this, okay? Thank you for tuning in.